Students, this is sort of the cover letter for cycle 2, which includes weeks 3 and 4. This cycle, we're going to be looking at classification and taxonomy. And so I've put a cartoon up there. I keep forgetting, are we flora or fauna? And his partner says we're toads. So a little bit of humor there. But I'd like to go through some of the assignments that you'll have this week and next week. These are the 5 assignments. The first one is taxonomy reading and then questions over that reading. Then you're going to learn how to do dichotomous keys, and we're going to do 2 of them, one with smiley faces and one with sharks. And then you'll have a reading activity about some of the characteristics of sharks. And then you'll end with identifying organism. Usually we do this in class with real organisms that are preserved. But we're going to have to try it with just pictures of organisms this year. So we're going to start off with a taxonomy reading, classification. Again, another little cartoon. What you got there, I'm a pet groundhog. That's a woodchuck. One problem with taxonomy is common names. We have different common names for the same thing, and sometimes common names are confusing. For example, a mud puppy. A mud puppy isn't a puppy that's been in the mud, but it's a type of salamander. Or if you think about a sea lion, again, that is a mammal that lives in the ocean. So we have different names for different things, which makes it confusing. So I'm going to have you go ahead and you'll read this taxonomy reading. You'll look at some of the taxons or groupings that humans, scientists, place other animals and other plants and other species in. So those are the taxons there: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So if you'll go ahead and complete the reading there, this graphic shows you basically how humans, house cats, a 3-spine stickleback, and a western sunflower are classified. The kingdom, what phylum they're in, what class, order, family, genus, and species. So once you get through the reading, then you're going to take a look at this graphic here, and using that graphic, you'll answer the questions below using the graphic and the reading. I think there is a total of, 20 questions. And then you'll do some matching, or this is true or false, using the graphic again to answer the remaining questions. And then in this set, again, circle the pair that is most closely related. Again, you'll use that graphic to answer these questions. So that's a little bit about taxonomy. Dichotomous keys. Dichotomous keys are ways to identify an organism by looking at its structural characteristics and using that key. So a little bit about the background information. A dichotomous key is a tool used to identify all the different kinds of organisms within the kingdoms of living things. It is a branching key in which there are always 2 or more choices in each branch. The last choice in the key will identify what the scientist is trying to identify. Dichotomous key can be used to identify animals, plants, and other organisms, and even objects, which you'll see below. A dichotomous key works best when they are divided into groups and then further divided into small groups. Actually, the word dichot, di means 2, so there's always 2 questions in each little couplet. So here is an example of smiley faces. So dichotomous keys using smiley faces, you have the first 2 choices, teeth visible or teeth not visible. So if you look at that first smiley face, we're going to do this one together. That first smiley face, the teeth are visible, so we go to 2. Then we have 2 options. Either has a wide, toothy grin or smile, or is not smiling. And he is definitely not smiling. So we go on to 3. 3, visible crying or frowning. And in this instance, he is visibly crying, so he is Smilus domesticus, or dramaticus, Smilus dramaticus. And so that's how we keyed out that first one. Let's move on to the second one. I'll just get you started on the second one. We can see we're going across the top, so that second to the left is teeth is visible. So we go on to 2. Has a wide, toothy smile, which or is not smiling. He definitely is not smiling. So we go on to 3. Visible crying or frowning. He's frowning. So that is smileless. I can't read it. So that's how you do dichotomous keys. Okay, then I want you to do the same thing with classifying sharks. Again, here are some of the anatomical structures of sharks that you might need to know. And here is the dichotomous key. If you will key them out to like sawfish or cow shark or cat shark, you don't have to include the family name. But here are the list, or here are the different sharks. If you will write them out either on the page or on a separate page, 1 through 14. And then the last thing, or not the last thing, but the next thing is conservation plan, saving sharks. Read the information about the sharks, and then you'll answer some questions about sharks. And then the last thing is identifying organisms using a dichotomous key. Again, you'll have, it'll tell you the method, and then it will give you the key plus the organism, and you are going to classify it out as to which phylum or class. So I think there are several of these. So you'll complete those, and I'm going to zoom through. There's another one. There's organism F, organism G, organism H, and then your answer sheet. So take a picture of your answer sheet, and you can either submit on Google or you can just turn your packet in. Hopefully this will help you out, and hopefully you're having a productive time during this quarantine. Thank you.